Welcome to online classes. Now we discuss the chapter 3. This is the third chapter of 10th class. Sources of energy. Sources of energy. So first we have to understand what is the source. Any system which provides us some amount of energy, that is known as simple source. Any object that provides us energy, that is to be our source. And if we define source, source is a reservoir that provides us energy without changing its heat or energy, without changing its heat and energy. That is called the source. Simply we define the source. Source is a reservoir. Is source is a reservoir that provides us something without changing any substances that is provided by the sources. It means if we simply says thermal reservoir, simply says energy reservoir, and simply says various types of reservoir, we have to store something. If we have to, without changing, without affecting its reproducing things, that is to be providing us that energy, that heat, that temperature, that sources cannot be destroyed, that cannot be changed into it. That is the source is a reservoir. Simple. If we are simply say that source is a reservoir that is provides us energy, that is sources of energy is a reservoir that provides us energy without changing its heat value, energy value, or something temperature values. Now we see there are three types of basic structure of the sources of energy. So we have to simply see the basic structure of energies. So first the energy, the things, the substances which provides us energy, that is the sources. The sources of energy. So we have to study, first we have to study fuels. After that, there are two types of sources available in the surroundings. There are two types of sources available in the surroundings. First is natural source, and second is artificial sources. Natural sources are those sources which is to be obtained from the nature, that is cannot be created by the human surroundings or human beings. If any source that is to be produced by artificial manner or by the machinery, by the equipments, if we are using any such type of equipments for the generation of sources of energy, that type of energy sources is called artificial sources of energy. Natural sources are those sources of energy which are directly obtained from the nature, that is to be coal, petrol, that is to be easily obtained from the nature. Wood, that is also a natural sources of energy. Artificial sources are LPG, CNG. These are human generated, and these sources is to be known as artificial sources of energy. So we have to understand natural and artificial sources. Natural and artificial sources of energy. So simply we have to understand here natural and artificial sources of energy. The basic differences in RT and natural resources and artificial resources. Natural resources, that is, it comes from the nature, comes from nature, and that sources man-made. And these are the man-made and these are come from the nature. These are the two sources, natural sources and artificial sources of energies. So now we comes in the next topic, that is to be the classifications of energy sources. So we have to study, first we have to know what is the fuel. So first we have to study So we have to study fuel. What is the fuel? Fuel is a substance that provides us energy on burning. That burning is to be known as combustion process. It means we can simply say that fuel provides us energy by the chemical reactions. That chemical reactions is the process of combustion, because the combustion process is taking place after the burning of the fuel. The combustion process is to be completed. After the combustion process, the reaction should be completed and heat should be generated in the system. So simply we have to classify the fuels. The classification of the fuels we have to study. There are three types of fuel we have to study here. The first fuel is to be known as solid fuels, and the second fuel is to be known as liquid fuel, and third fuel is to be known as gaseous fuels. So we have to study the continuously, and after this is a theoretically chapter, so we have to study one by one. After we have to study fuel, natural resources, artificial resources. So we have to learn the basic definitions, basic understanding, how the natural resources will be produced, artificial sources can be produced. After the classification of the fuels, so solid, liquid and gaseous fuels. In the next lecture, we have to discuss the various classifications of the fuels, solid, liquid and gaseous. So we have to taking any examples, and after that we have to understand what is the solid fuel, what is the liquid fuel and what is the gaseous fuel.